Did you like studying science when you were at school?
The honest answer is I did not hate science, but I did not enjoy it much. I was more interested in arts and history. Perhaps this was due to the fact that I was good at drawing and was more fascinated by learning about past events and people who shaped the world we see today.
What do you remember about your science teachers at school?
I remember them being very passionate and energetic. My biology teacher, in particular, made the subject come alive with stories and experiments. On the other hand, my chemistry teacher was quite strict, but she explained complex topics really clearly.
How interested are you in science now?
I'd say I'm still fairly interested. I like reading about scientific breakthroughs and watching documentaries. While I don't study science formally anymore, I find it fascinating how much it shapes our modern lives, from medicine to space exploration.
What do you think has been an important recent scientific development?
In my opinion, one such major breakthrough is the progress in quantum computing. The progress in quantum computing is really important. It has the potential to solve complex problems much faster than traditional computers, which could lead to major breakthroughs in medicine, cybersecurity, and environmental research.
What are the most popular museums and art galleries in where you live?
In my country, some of the most popular museums include the National Museum and the Liberation War Museum. These attract both local and foreign visitors because they showcase our history, culture, and national identity. As for art galleries, places like the Gallery of Fine Arts are quite well known for promoting contemporary and traditional art. These institutions help preserve cultural heritage and promote artistic talent.
Do you believe that all museums and art galleries should be free?
That's an interesting question. From my perspective, museums and galleries should be free, especially for students and local residents. They are educational spaces, and removing the entry fee would make them more accessible. However, I do understand that some places charge to maintain facilities or fund new exhibits. A balanced model, free for locals but a fee for tourists, might work well.
What kinds of things make a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit?
I'd say interactive exhibits, creative displays, and a strong narrative make a museum engaging. Good lighting, helpful guides, and hands-on activities can also enhance the visitor experience. For example, when museums let you try out old musical instruments or use virtual reality to explore historical sites, it becomes more than just looking at objects. It becomes an experience.
Why do you think do some people book package holidays rather than traveling independently?
Generally speaking, package holidays are chosen for convenience. Everything from flights to hotels and sometimes even meals is arranged by the travel agency. For people who don't want the hassle of planning or researching, it's a stress-free option. For example, my parents always book package tours because they don't feel confident managing bookings on their own. It is also far cheaper than traveling independently since the travel agency books flights, hotels, and transportation in bulk.
Would you say that large numbers of tourists cause problems for local people?
Yes, in some cases they do. Overcrowding, rising prices, and environmental damage are common issues. In heavily visited cities, locals sometimes feel pushed out of their own neighborhoods. For instance, in some old towns, local shops are replaced by tourist souvenir stores, which affects daily life. A huge influx of tourists also leads to a sharp increase in rent and food prices. Many landlords prefer short-term vacation rentals through platforms like Airbnb, which reduces the availability of affordable housing for local residents. As a result, even essential workers like teachers or nurses struggle to live in the city center. So while tourism brings economic benefits, it absolutely needs to be managed carefully and sustainably to protect the interests of local communities.
What sort of impact can large holiday resorts have on the environment?
The environmental impact can be significant. Large resorts often consume a lot of resources, water, electricity, and land. They may also contribute to pollution, disrupt local ecosystems, and produce large amounts of waste. For example, beach resorts that don't manage their waste properly can harm marine life. That's why sustainable tourism practices are becoming more and more important nowadays.
What kinds of bills do you have to pay?
I have to pay the usual monthly bills like electricity, water, internet, and my mobile phone bill. Occasionally, I also pay for subscription services like streaming platforms or cloud storage. These are pretty standard expenses for most people these days.
Have you ever forgotten to pay a bill?
Yes, once or twice. It usually happens when I'm very busy or traveling. Thankfully, most apps send reminders, so it doesn't happen often. One time, I forgot to pay the internet bill and got disconnected for a day. That was enough of a lesson.
Is there anything you could do to make your bills cheaper?
I think so. I could probably reduce electricity usage by being more mindful, like switching off lights and unplugging devices when not in use. Also, cutting down on online subscriptions I rarely use would save a bit. It's just about developing smarter habits, and I think I should be more prudent about it.
What kinds of things can children learn to cook?
Children can start with very basic dishes like boiled eggs, sandwiches, instant noodles, or pancakes. As they grow older, they can try more complex meals like pasta, simple curries, or baked items. From my perspective, cooking helps them develop life skills and boosts their confidence. For example, my younger cousin started with scrambled eggs, and now he can prepare a full breakfast spread all by himself.
Do you think it's important for children to learn to cook?
Yes, I do believe that children should learn how to cook, as it's an important skill. Learning to cook gives children independence and helps them understand the importance of nutrition and hygiene. It also teaches them patience and responsibility. In today's world, where takeout food is so common, knowing how to cook is a valuable skill that promotes a healthier lifestyle. Even basic cooking can be empowering for them and for their future.
Do you think young people should learn to cook at home or at school?
Ideally, both. At home, children can learn family recipes and pick up tips naturally while helping their parents. At school, they can get structured lessons, learn safety protocols, and try new cuisines. For example, a school might teach how to measure ingredients accurately or follow a step-by-step recipe, which can be difficult to master at home without guidance.
How enjoyable do you think it would be to work as a professional chef?
I think it can be incredibly rewarding, but also very demanding. On the one hand, chefs get to be creative, work with amazing ingredients, and bring joy to people through food. But the job also involves long hours, high stress, and physical exhaustion. For someone who's passionate about cooking, though, it could be a dream career despite the challenges.
What skills does a person need to be a great chef?
I believe that a great chef needs more than just cooking talent. Time management, teamwork, creativity, and attention to detail are all essential. They also need to stay calm under pressure, especially during busy service hours. Once, I watched a documentary where a head chef had to coordinate a kitchen with 10 staff members and dozens of orders. It was like conducting an orchestra.
How much influence do celebrity or TV chefs have on what ordinary people cook?
From my perspective, they have a massive influence. People watch their shows and get inspired to try new dishes or techniques. For example, after watching a popular chef make risotto, many of my friends gave it a go, even though they'd never cooked rice that way before. These chefs make cooking seem approachable and fun, and that motivates everyday people to experiment in the kitchen.